Hi, welcome to Scooters, Scooters, Scooters.
How do you fix them?
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Scooters, Scooters, Scooters. It's Ross. We've got Nerdy over here. Welcome. And today we are going to be working on this 2003, 2002-ish Yamaha Vino. It's had some transmission issues on the last episode. We went ahead and cleaned the carburetor, but that turned out not to be an issue. It's slipping. It gets up to about 28 miles per hour and then slips. You can feel somewhere on the CVT belt, the drive transmission is just not working right. So I think what it might be is a roller weight issue. It might be a belt issue. Might just be grease in there. So we're going to replace all that. Here's what you need. Alright, so first thing you have to do is take this outside cover off. It's pretty easy. It's just one Allen wrench there, actually two Allen keys there, bolts, and then this thing basically just comes off with a Phillips head screwdriver. You just pull this off, take that screw out, and then this thing slides off, and then we'll get into the interior case. Kickstart once again. So once you get to this point, it's very, very important in most cases that you know exactly which bolt goes to which section of the case, the cover here, the CVT cover. Because these are all, as you can see, here's a side view, these are all actually different sizes. So if you try and put one on the wrong side, you could, it's just going to be frustrating trying to figure out which one matches. So make a little diagram, draw it on a cardboard box, and then just poke them through so you can kind of see where they correspond to the different locations. I've taken a few of them off already, so I'm just going to take the rest off and you pull the cover. Alright, and the last two are these little airbox screws. So they connect to this, but they also hold the airbox on. While you're going through the trouble of doing all of this, it probably makes sense just to go ahead and put in a new air filter as well. Do as much as you can at the same time. Makes it easier. Alright, so once you get to this point, there's a gasket. I think the OEM one is more almost like a cardboard thing. So when I pulled this off originally, the cardboard just basically fell apart because it was so old. So it looks like this newer one might be cardboard or it might be some other kind of synthetic material that's a little bit better. But remember to order a gasket as well, just in case that happens to you. So you pull it off, and it looks like this. So you can see this is the clutch, and then this is the part we're going to be taking off. So the slider weights are in the back in this thing. So the first thing is, since we have an impact wrench, I'm just going to pull this nut off. If you don't have an impact wrench, there's some other videos that I'll link to where you can pull this off with a different kind of rubber oil can wrench or oil filter wrench. Alright, so this is a 17 millimeter bolt. Just pull that off. Take off this crown bolt and this washer. And if you have, it's a good idea to take a photo of everything. So right when you take the cover off, take a photo so you can see exactly what order everything goes in and which direction. So this crown, these little nodes are kind of facing out, and there's a washer on the inside of the crown between the nut and the crown bolt. So now we'll pull this off. This is the part that's actually usually pretty hard to get off. That's why I had that puller, but looks like it's coming right off, probably because the teeth are now stripped a little bit on this thing because I've taken it off before. Alright, so now we can get to our belt. We'll just pull that to the side. So usually to de-restrict the scooter, there's usually a little washer right in here. So if you're going through this trouble, you may as well just pull this washer out and then take it away. And what that allows is for the two wheels to basically get closer together, and it pushes the belt out and makes the belt ride higher on this wheel. So that gives you a higher gear ratio and basically gives you more top end speed when you pull that washer out. I've already done it, so the washer's in here, but there would normally be a washer here that you can just get rid of. So there's this other washer as well. So the wheels or the roller weights and everything are housed in here, so you just want to reach all the way to the back and then pull this out as one piece. That way all the stuff's not going to fall out. You can see it's kind of falling out inside here already. So we'll just pull this. So this is the back plate. This is, I think, the variator. So, so you can see here's the roller weights. I noticed when I first put this back in that this one actually had some bad weights. One of them was kind of flat, so you can see that it's got little marks in it. I don't know how it got these little divots in it, but that probably causes it to not roll correctly and get caught, which could be why it's having the issues. It could be the belt, it could be the weights, I don't really know, but we're going to switch both just so we can be sure. So the first thing we're going to do is pull this belt off and get our new belt.
How about that beer? You can crack that.
Alright, so before you put the belt on, you have to put the new gasket on. So we'll slide this in. You can kind of tell how it fits just holding it up. And it could be that the clutch is bad, or it needs a new clutch spring or something like that. That's a possibility too, but since I've never changed a clutch before, I didn't want to try it until I knew absolutely that was what the issue was. The issue could be that it's slipping too, so I mean just rubbing on here, I'm probably getting grease from my fingers onto the area where the belt is running, and so that could cause it to slip. So I'm not sure what you're supposed to use to clean this, so I'm just going to use...
You can use mineral spirits if you have it.
To clean the area here where it runs, I'm going to use a little bit of brake cleaner and just wipe it down just in case that's the issue, is dust or oil that's in there that's making the belt slip. We're just going to spray the brake cleaner onto a couple rags and then slip it in, rotate it around a little bit. We'll see how dirty it gets. Yeah, so there's a fair amount of dust and dirt on there. I don't know if that's what's causing it, but it's probably good to clean it off. Alright, so both sides of that are clean. Might as well clean the inside surface of this. I've seen in some other videos people have actually scuffed this up with sandpaper to actually get a little bit more purchase for the belt. I'm not going to do that here. If there continues to be an issue, I might take this off and do that. I'm not sure. But it's a good idea to check the condition of this, because sometimes it can get you know, some little ruts in it or some damage. These look to be in pretty good condition. Alright, so now we are going to put in our slider weights. So if you open up the slider package, you can actually see a little diagram here which shows you how to put the sliders into this thing. So It's a little bit hard to describe, so I'm just going to show you the diagram. If you just Google Dr. Pully Slider diagram and look at the images, that'll show you exactly how to do it, and that's the way to go. So you want to make sure you don't mess this part up.
All the flat surfaces go up.
Yeah, so all the flat surfaces go up and they point towards the middle. If you notice any debris, grease, grime, dust on the inside of this plate where they're actually going to slide, you want to clean that off. Some people will polish this too. Mine looks to be in pretty good condition. Make sure you don't lose these little plastic things. They can come off pretty easily. So then you'll just take the top of the variator here and then just slide it back on to hold the belt on. In order to get the belt on, you're going to have to compress
Gasket.
the clutch. Make sure you don't hurt the gasket.
Set a couple bolts in place.
Alright, so gasket's getting in the way. I'm just going to put a bolt here to kind of keep it in place. Maybe two. Alright. Now, slide the clutch back, pull the spring. Pull this tight. There we go. Now we'll put this back plate on. Star nut. The crown nut. The washer. And finally the top nut.
Top nut.
Once that is in, tighten everything up. Make sure you have the gasket lined up while you put this on.
How'd it go?
It's fixed.
Really?
It doesn't slip anymore, but it still only goes 30 miles an hour. Guys, these aren't made for speed. But they're cheap. Super cheap.